Yes, there is little action in the way of the world because the chief concern lies in love intrigues. The main emphasis, the main center of the play is on love intrigues and not on the story. The Restoration Comedy was wholly concerned with the amorous adventures. Amorous means love. Amorous adventures of the fashionable young men and female. Restoration Comedy was usually about love, connections between fashionable young men and female. And so the play is also about this thing. Rekha apna mic off कीजिए. The lovers were more interested. The lovers were more interested in playing the love games. The lovers were interested in their love affairs, and so the love affairs got the central light. There is predominance of witty dialogues and verbal exchanges. At the same time, the dramatist seems to be more concerned about creating witty dialogues and brilliant conversations among characters. They make it a point to talk about love instead of actually making love. Love talk is more pronounced there instead of any action. So they are more interested in talks about love instead of really doing something. So the witty conversations based on repartee. Repartee means verbal duels. रिपार्टी का मतलब होता है वर्बल ड्यूअल्स, वर्बल एक्सचेंजेस, शाब्दिक लड़ाई जो होती है उसको हम रिपार्टी बोलते हैं. रिपार्टी शाब्दिक लड़ाई है, विट्स की लड़ाई है दो कैरेक्टर्स के बीच में. So the witty conversations based on repartee and are more important in this kind of comedy. Since this was the nature of Restoration Comedy, that this comedy was focused more on witticisms, more on repartees, more on presenting the morals and manners of the society. So the plot has never been very important in Restoration Comedy. There is little action and more talk in such a comedy. Action कम है, talk ज़्यादा है. So in the way of the world, Congreve's main object is to entertain the audience and not to tell a story. So the chief concern of the dramatist was to entertain the audience and not to tell them a story. So the plot is secondary and amusement is the primary business in the play. That's why the play does not emphasize the story element, the plot element, and instead focuses on amusements, pleasures, representation of the society, witty dialogues, etc. The way of the world is primarily devoted to entertainment of the audience. It has a diffused means something which is loose, diffused and confusing plot. The story is diffused, loose and confusing. Kathleen Lynch rightly observed that it demands considerable patience on the reader's part to untangle the confused strands of Mirabelle's complicated affairs. Our famous critic, Kathleen Lynch, notices that the audience needs quite a patience to understand with whom Mirabelle has affairs and with whom he hasn't. So it needs quite patience, it needs time to understand the complicated affairs of Mirabelle, the hero of the play. We begin to understand quite late in the play that Mirabelle had a love affair with Mrs. Fenol, who is daughter of Lady Wishfort. When some time passes and some scenes have passed, then we come to understand that Mirabelle had a love affair with Mrs. Fenol, who was daughter of Lady Wishfort, and how he managed her, how he manipulated her to marry Mr. Fenol. Mirabelle arranged her marriage with Fenol when he suspected that she was pregnant. But he continued to be a good friend of Mrs. Fenol even after her marriage. So even after Mrs. Fenol is married, that Mr. Fenol continues to have relationships with her. Of course, like a friend, maybe not like a lover. Mrs. Marwood wants to have an affair with Mirabelle, who is actually in love with Millamant, who is niece of Lady Wishfort. And we are also informed about another romantic angle, how Mirabelle is courted by Mrs. Marwood and she is jealous because he does not reciprocate her. Mrs. Marwood becomes jealous and wants to prevent the marriage of Mirabelle and Millamant. Now, Lady Wishport, who is 55 years old, becomes angry with Mirabel because he has made false love to her in the past. And the reason why Lady Wishport is angry with Mirabel is because Mirabel professed love to her in a wrong way while actually wanting to marry her niece. She wants to marry somebody so that she could produce the legal heir to her property. At the same time, we are informed that Lady Wishport wants to marry at quite an old age because she has no children other than Mrs. Fenol, and she wants to produce a son who could inherit her property. At the instance of Mirabel, his servant Waitwell poses to be Sir Rowland and tries to earn the love of Lady Wishport. And then we are informed how Sir Rowland is actually Waitwell, who is servant of Mirabel, and who takes this form so as to deceive and implicate Lady Wishport. Mirabel does so in order to persuade the lady through Sir Rowland to allow her niece to marry Mirabel. And this planning is played by Mirabel so as to get a permission from Lady Wishport for his marriage. There is another subplot in which Fenol threatens to divorce Mrs. Fenol, whose old affair with Mirabel is exposed by Mrs. Marley. There is another plot, another intrigue, another planning, in which Mr. Fenol threatens to divorce his wife, Mrs. Fenol, on the excuse that she had an affair with Mirabel. Further, complications arise when Lady Wishport insists on Sir Wilfull marrying Millamant. There is a third line also, in which Lady Wishport wants to marry her niece Millamant with Sir Wilfull. Sir Wilfull is Lady Wishport's nephew and a country squire. We are introduced with Sir Wilfull, who is a country squire. In between these scenes, we have serious wit encounters between Mirabel and Millamant, and mock wit between Petulant and Witwoud. Between all these scenes and all these happenings, we find that there are brilliant, witty conversations between Mirabel and Millamant on the one hand, and Witwoud and Petulant on the other. The main attractions of the play are intrigue, disguise, blackmailing, wit, songs, and music. So there is little action and less movement in the play because there are other strains, so many other strains which the writer wants to emphasize that he has no time for presenting a coherent plot, a well constructed plot. The play opens in a chocolate house with Mirabel and Fenol discussing their present affair. We have discussed how the initial scene is in the chocolate house, where Mirabel and Fenol are playing cards as well as discussing their affairs. The scene then shifts to St. James Park, where all characters, including Millamant, are brought together. Act 2 happens in St. James Park, where Mirabel, Millamant, and other major characters are brought together. Then we enter Lady Wishport's house. The third act takes place at Lady Wishport's house and come out of it only when the play is over. And the rest of the scenes take place in Lady Wishport's house. We witness the last three acts at one place. So Act 3, Act 4, and Act 5, they take place at Lady Wishport's house. Most of the action is suggested rather than physically staged. So there is more conversation instead of showing of action on the stage. Most of the things in the play are conveyed through the dialogues. So the action is presented through the dialogues. There are separate dramatic scenes, but they lack dramatic actions. We can also visualize that there are different scenes, and those scenes are brilliant in themselves. They are well crafted, they are well suited to entertain the audience. But these scenes remain detached, separate scenes. There is no connection or link between them. The proviso scene is remarkable for its social content and humorous effect. For instance, the proviso scene is quite beautifully presented, in which Mirabel and Millamant talk about their marriages and the arrangement of marriages. So it presents the situation of women in the society, as well as it's quite humorous also. We enjoy the conditions laid down by Mirabel and Millamant, but in final analysis, this scene does not contribute in any way to the actions of the play. The scene is excellent, but this scene does not tell us in any way about the characters of Mirabel or Milamant, or it does not take the story further. We already know that Mirabel and Milamant are in love with each other and they love genuinely uh, each other, and there is nothing which this scene adds to our understanding of the character or does not take the action any further. Milamant has already made up her mind about Mirabel and she simply wants to prolong the courtship to enjoy the pleasures of it. We know that Milamant wants to marry Mirabel and she is simply taking time to enjoy the moment of courtship. The bargain scene. This is also called the bargain scene. Just confirms what the audience already knows. बार्गेन क्या कहते हैं? बार्गेन का मतलब जिसमें आप किसी से कम कीमत में ज्यादा चीज लेना चाहते हो, उसको हम बार्गेनिंग कहते हैं ना. So this is a kind of bargain scene in which Milamant wants to get more from Mirabel and Mirabel wants to get more from Milamant. The play could indeed be called as consisting of succession of brisk entertaining scenes. So we see that in this sense, the play is a collection of different scenes. There are a number of love affairs in the play. There is love affair between Mirabel and Milamant. Another affair is between Mirabel and Mrs. Marwood, which is of course not reciprocated by Mirabel, but lies on the part of Mrs. Marwood. One is between Mrs. Marwood and Mr. Fenol. Of course, it's there. There are intrigues which further complicate the matter. Then there are three simultaneous intrigues. One intrigue is played by Mirabel, another intrigue is played by Mr. Fenol, third intrigue is being played by Lady Wishport. One is between, Waitwell, the servant of Mirabel, gets married to Foible, the maid servant of Lady Wishport. This is a secret marriage which takes place under the instruction of Mirabel. We come to know that Mirabel is playing an intrigue. He is planning. And under this planning, he marries his own servant to the servant of Lady Wishport. But Mrs. Marwood exposes all this to Lady Wishport. Mr. Fenol, in collaboration with Mrs. Marwood, tries to acquire the entire property of Lady Wishport. Then there is a second plot. This second planning is done by Mr. Fenol. He wants to blackmail Lady Wishport by threatening her that he is going to divorce his daughter. So this is second line of action, second intrigue. Mr. Fenol, in collaboration with Mrs. Marwood, tries to acquire the entire property of Lady Wishport. But Mirabel thwarts. Thwart means defeats this plan. In the end, Lady Wishport gives her consent to Milamant's marriage with Mirabel because he has saved the property of her daughter and niece and also a good ring. So in the last of the play, we find how Lady Wishport gives her permission to Mirabel to marry Milamant because he has saved her daughter, as well as her property from Mr. Fenol. Thus we can see that the plot of the play is incoherent and lacks strength. So in ultimate analysis, we can see that the plot, the arrangement of different incidents, different episodes, the connection between different episodes is of course missing, but the appeal of the play lies in its characterization and dialogue. But the beauty, the strength of the play is in its characterization and its dialogue. Congreve brings together in this play a group of men and women of quite quick brains, witty people, witty characters, and cynical humor. Cynical is somewhat negative, criticizing humor, who talk with the brilliance and rapidity of a craftsman. All the characters, not only the major characters, even the minor characters, they talk in witty dialogues, they talk in repartees, they are ready to say something which is brilliant, which is apt, which is suitable to the moment, and therein lies the beauty of the plot, not in its plot. This is our ultimate analysis of the plot of the play, that of course the plot is weak, of course the plot is not the strength of the play, because the strength of the play lies somewhere else, not in this plot. This is all about the plot of the play. Okay, thank you.